Let the truth be told.
Giving all praises and giving all honor and glory to the Most High. You understand? It's another episode of Let the Truth Be Told podcast. Man, I miss y'all in the chat. I miss y'all. I miss, you know what I'm saying, my elder, you know what I'm saying, Shemaiah. Phineas YG's about to hop up on here in a second. We got a lot to cover and talk about, y'all, dealing with these, dealing with the, what we're seeing as far as prophecy, you know what I'm saying,
Right.
unfolding. We got my brother Phineas YG. He's getting ready to come in right now. But Shemaiah, Elder Shemaiah, go ahead and you know what I'm saying, and let the chat and let them know how you feeling. How you feeling, brother?
I'm doing great. I'm feeling good. It's nice to be amongst my brothers and amongst my people out there in the radio ways and the podcast ways. We out about to bring another Let the Truth Be Told podcast. We're going to talk about the current events and things that's going on amongst our people. And hey, it's time for us to awaken. It's time for us to declare who we are according to our Shemitic bloodline, Hebrew ethnicity, and Yasharalite nationality, and also more importantly, making that connection with the divine I am in us according to our consciousness. So be it. Hallelujah.
Hallelujah, hallelujah. And like I said, we got Phineas YG, right? Popping in a little late, right? But right on time at the same time. You feel me? He's getting himself together. You know what I'm saying? Let me give a shout out to the chat real quick, and we're gonna let my brother Phineas, you know what I'm saying, go in. I want to say shout out, you know what I'm saying, to Earth Healing Angel. We love you. That's my auntie right there. I got a few internet aunties up on here, Elder. You know what I'm saying?
Oh,
She's
okay.
wonderful. You know what I'm
Hallelujah.
saying? I appreciate y'all. You know what I'm saying, my supporters for holding it down, you know what I'm saying, your guys' prayers. As you guys know, you know what I'm saying, I want to say, you know what I'm saying, rest in life, rest in peace, you know what I'm saying, to my brother Gideon, a dear friend of mine. So I want to say, you know what I'm saying, shout out to y'all, shout out to Earth Healing Angel, right? Major shout out to Gates of Zion, my affiliation. You understand? You feel me? GOZ. You feel me? That's my affiliation. Don't get it twisted. You know what I'm saying? Y'all keep me in prayer, man. I miss my brothers, man. Lord willing, you know what I'm saying? My schedule's gonna clear up to where I can get back out there in the streets, but they holding it down. Make sure you guys go subscribe, right, to Gates of Zion. You understand? All praise to the Most High, right? Shout out, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, my brother's up on here. He really the GOAT with it, y'all. Phineas YG in the building, you know what I'm saying? Put those W's in the chat for my brother Phineas YG. You feel me? And all praise to the Most High. Shout out to Gracie Israel, D5C, right? All praise to the Most High. All praise to the Most High. It's good to see you up on here. And everybody else, you know what I'm saying, that's up on here. You know what I'm saying? All praise to the Most High. Let's get right into it. How you feeling? You know what I'm saying, Phineas? And real quick, shout out to Zachariah. You know what I'm saying? Ban Yashara, right? 48, 16. You already understand what's going on. How you feeling, Phineas?
Man, I'm wonderful, man. I am wonderful. I am wonderful. I hope everybody else is feeling the same exact way. As you guys know, we have another great show right here ready for you guys, man. It is Let the Truth Be Told, man. Sponsored by the United Nation of Yasharala. If you guys have not done so yet, please go to the website. Check out the website. It should Zampac. Okay.
Oh wait,
Please.
no, my bad. Hold on. Thanks for reminding me, bro. My bad. If y'all want the website, make sure, right, you guys go and hold on, slack it. There it is, right there.
There it is. Make sure you hit
Hallelujah.
the website, check us out, and also go ahead and support the brother man and get that Zam pack as well. You know what I'm saying? Get the Zam pack. You know what I mean? Oh. But yeah,
Yeah.
check the website out,
Mhm.
man. Check us out. You know what I'm saying? We got a lot of stuff up there, and see what you can do to help to build our nation, man. Because this is our nation, your nation, one nation under the Most High Yahweh, man. So here he is, man. Elder, kick us off.
All praises. Well, it's been a lot going on circulating in the news today, dealing with our people and the so-called "quote unquote" black church. We
Mhm.
don't leave no stone unturned. We'll talk about the fallacies dealing with any religion, because contrary to popular belief, religion is man-made. Religion and
Right.
doctrine is man-made. That was not made by the Most High Almighty Yahweh. Unfortunately, when people hear the word scripture or read certain keywords that's mentioned in the scripture, their mind automatically gravitates towards religion and doctrine. That's because we've been taught from that perspective through the European concepts and the watered down version of Christianity that has taken over our overstanding according to who we are as a people. So right now we're getting ready to jump right on in. We're gonna lift the skirts over our heads and look at the exposure on how we acting in the Christian church.
Hey, look at TD Snakes, and I forgot how to pronounce this other pastor's name, Uric or something like that, bro. Look how they holding hands, like follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road, follow the yellow brick road. Look at that, that's crazy, ain't it?
Right.
Let's get right into this, y'all. Y'all know it's Let the Truth Be Told podcast, man. Check this out.
Watch the disturbing things these pastors do in church, and then watch what this pastor does.
With him I'll stay. The weapon is children hold what day. I know every anthem like a thief in the night. I know them all. Keep the beat going.
Hold on, real quick. I gotta pause that real quick. I know every ad lib, the beat and all. Keep it going. That's if that don't scream cultural appropriation, I don't know.
Right.
It's like he was excited, Elder, because he didn't caught the beat. And he's trying to show off, you know what I'm saying, to his quote unquote black friends.
He know how to step his feet now.
Keep the beat going. I'm clapping. I'm praising. I feel like I just snorted cocaine or something. I'm so excited. And I never did that before.
Whoa, wait.
Jenny,
you hear that? Why'd you hear that?
Yeah.
Hold on. Chat, did y'all hear that?
I know you fucking lying.
No, he ain't lying. Let's rewind back.
And I never did that before. For the record.
Hold on.
He probably high right now.
Bro, he high, bro. I was just
snorted cocaine or something. I'm so excited. And
wait. Hold on. Here we go.
I feel like I just snorted cocaine or something. I'm so excited. And I never did that before. For the record.
Wait. Hold on, y'all. He said, I never did that before. Then he looked at the camera and his eyes look real cocaine-ish.
For the record.
Look at his eyes, y'all. For the record.
Right.
Okay.
Looking like Hulk Hogan on stage.
Let's get to the video.
For the record.
Social media, don't you be saying this, that you're equal with God. What's the matter with you? Come on. Your ugly, nasty self. Equal with God.
I like to start with something funny, and I heard about these three pastors. Each tell the area that we struggle in the most, our greatest sin, so we can pray for each other. The first pastor said, I have a problem with gambling. Sometimes I sneak out at night and gamble. The second pastor said, I'm ashamed to admit this, but I have a problem with cheating. I hardly ever pay my taxes. The third pastor sat there silently. They waited and waited. They said, we are not leaving until you tell us your greatest sin. He said, all right, my greatest sin is gossiping, and I can't wait to get off this boat.
If I can tell you to go back and you still hanging there with me, when I get ready to give my glory, you got it! Somebody holler, I want it!
All we like sheep had gone astray. Each of us had turned to his own way, but God laid upon him the iniquity of us all. And Christ died for sin once for all, the just for the unjust. And God imputes our sinfulness to him, and he nails our sinfulness to the tree. And Christ dies and raises again on the third day for our justification. We're not just saved from the penalty of sin. We're not just saved from the power of sin, but one day we're glorified and saved from the very presence of sin. That's the gospel that we preach. That's the gospel that we need. And that's the gospel that's more than enough.
Some pastors care more about entertainment than the Bible and should resign. Subscribe for more videos like this.
I agree. How you feel, Elder?
You know, it's just showing how they have used the Christian, so quote unquote Christian church as a mechanism for entertainment. We go there to be entertained for the most part, you know. And unfortunately, I remember back when I was attending many years and many moons ago, attending a Christian church, and I would select the church based upon who played the best music. I think I mentioned that before.
You mentioned that, right?
You know, whoever had the best music, that's where I was going. Now they have not only music, but theatrics. And we're going to see that in some other videos that we're going to play. These pastors flying out on stage in lifts and everything. It's crazy. And just the messaging that they're delivering really keeps us, for the most part, asleep. And we haven't gotten anything to really show us who we are as a people, to get us out of that whole mindset of religion and doctrine and into knowing who we are as a people. How long are we going to do the same thing expecting different results? How many times and how often have we gone to church and we're still in the same position that we are today? The church has existed in the United States for over 100 years. Black churches have been in existence for that long. But what difference has it made in our Black communities? Tell me. If I go to an urban city here in Detroit, I can drive down many city blocks and see over 30 churches on one block in 1 or 2 square miles. But the neighborhood is the worst neighborhood ever. How do we describe that? How do we explain that? What does that mean?
No, that's a great point, because I'm glad you brought that up. Like, what has the Christian church done for us? And all this stuff is, guys, is just another system that's set up to literally oppress us in the mind, oppress us physically, to the point where we can never rise. And so it's funny that you brought that out, right? Phineas has shared this with me, as you guys see here, right? Dealing with the story about Kevin Strickland. This is in 1979. It says Kevin Strickland was convicted of a triple murder in Kansas City, Missouri, which is where Phineas resides, at the age of 18. He spent the next 43 years of his life in prison for a crime he didn't commit, making him one of the longest wrongfully imprisoned individuals in U.S. history. His story stands as one of the most heartbreaking and glaring examples of the flaws in the American criminal justice system. And this same American criminal justice system is also behind all religion, man-made religion, including Christianity, to keep us in a trap. It says that Strickland's conviction was based almost entirely on the testimony of one witness, who later recanted and admitted she had been pressured into identifying him. There was no physical evidence linking Strickland to the crime scene, yet he was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole for 50 years. For decades, Strickland maintained his innocence, fighting tirelessly to prove it, despite a system that seemed indifferent to his plight. What do you feel about this, YG?
Well, as you know, we know why that happened to him. Because the Most High, the earth is given into the hands of the wicked by the will of the Almighty, because we didn't do what we were supposed to do. So that is one of the curses that we must bear. And so, man, at the end of the day, like Elder said, man, all these churches on these corners, what has changed? Well, here's an example right here. And this was back in 1980, what, or 70 something? What was it?
1979.
1979. And guess what, y'all? This is still happening today to our people, right? Not saying that, all are innocent and haven't done things, but this is just a clear example. Nothing has changed, y'all, and it's still going on today, right now as we speak. Nothing has changed. Nothing new is under the sun until we learn to accept our punishment, man.
Yeah,
that's facts.
These things are going to continue to go on.
And that's what we got to understand this, you know what I'm saying? Y'all who's watching in the chat, is that there's many traps, there's many systematic, you know what I'm saying, oppression that's literally looming over us as a nation of people. We have to be able to have the spirit of discernment to be able to view and see these things because it's thrown right in our face.
And if I might add, that brother, and it came out when you further read on to the story that a judge did go over the case and exonerated all charges and let him go free. Now, check this out: the state of Missouri let him go free, but his life was taken from him. He's an old man. All his best years are behind him. There's no financial, I'm sorry, forgiveness, nothing. You just, hey, my bad, and you let go into the world. So here's the question. Not even a question, just to give you a clear outlook on that whole spectrum of what we just witnessed. Now, if he was innocent and had to do all those years, why would the Most High allow that to happen? This goes back to, when we were enslaved by the will of the Almighty, right? By the heathen, and sold unto our enemies, that nobody shall buy you. Do you think every single Yasharallah individual was not keeping the law? No. There was some of us that was die hard. I'm gonna do what the Most High said, but guess what? Because we didn't do it as a nation, all you niggas gotta go.
And you know what's sad is that as we see here, right? It says it literally says what you were just saying. It says Kevin Strickland's life was stolen, right? And that's clear evidence of what's going on. All right. And we've seen this with a lot of our people. We even see stories like this, you know what I'm saying, dealing with the prophets, dealing with, you know what I'm saying, mighty men, you know what I'm saying, of the Torah. And it says, but his exoneration is a testament to the enduring power of hope, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of justice. So this little part right here is right what the Bible, right, or what the Tanakh will say. I want to say it's like Psalms 55:21, where it basically says that they speak smooth words, right, to try to smooth this over. Right, they'll sit there and not take, you know, saying accountability for the fact that they've locked this man up, right, for false reasons, and then find out that, you know, what I'm saying, that he was not guilty, and so instead of doing everything in their power to try to make up for the years that was lost, right, which is pretty much damn near his whole life, they'll just put this little comment, right? Oh, he endured power of hope, resilience, and the relentless pursuit of justice. Well, that's not true justice. And until our people can understand that we have not received true justice, then we're not going to really self-reflect with ourselves to see what changes that we need to make and what mistakes that we're making, right, to be able to be an example to the rest of our people that's surrounded by us, because it starts with us first. And we have to be able to see the systematic oppression and the systems that they have set up to go against us, which is why we can't put our trust into God, like it says on the dollar bill, because that God is not dealing with the Almighty. But
and not only that, you know, like for example, as we were looking at in combination with the other video and this one together, you know, they trust in the almighty dollar, but they trust in the Savior that's so-called Savior that's mentioned in the new book through Christianity. We heard that pastor say that, right? And we know that in the new book it says that JC was resurrected on the third day, right?
Right.
Do people out here in the chat, do y'all know where they pulled that from? I'm gonna share something with you.
Come on with it, Elder. Was it Amos or Hosea?
Hosea chapter 6.
Yeah, go ahead and pull that up, Zamra.
Yeah, Con, let me pull that up real quick.
Because it's been a replacement.
You want from the top, yeah. Elder? From the top?
Yeah, from the top. From the top. It's been a bait and switch on everything, but from the top.
I'm glad that you pulling that, Elder. All praises.
Start at verse 1.
All right, this is the book of Hosea, chapter 6, verse 1. It says, "Come and let us return unto the Almighty, for he has torn and he will heal us. He has smitten and he will bind us up."
Now, let's say, come and let us. Us is plural, right? It's not singular. It says, let us return unto who? The Almighty. For he hath torn and he will heal us. Did it say one person or did it say us? That's the nation.
Us.
It says he hath smitten and he will bind us, plural, up. Read verse 2.
Verse 2. It says, after 2 days will he revive us. In the third day he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight.
So that's again what they got in the new book concerning a singular son is actually in reference to you, O remnant seed, to you, O Yaakov, who's expired to be Yasharallah. He said, after 2 days will he revive us, and in the third day he will raise us up, and we shall live in his sight. That's where that come from. But it's not talking about a singular individual. It's talking about a nation, oh Yasharallah. That's why y'all got to get out there and declare your bloodline, your ethnicity, and your nation. You need to go in that court system and declare who you are and tell them that you are Yasharallah. To give them your Hebraic first name to go along with it. Let them call you by what the name means. Because when they say Shemaiah Yasharallah, they saying he was heard by Yah. And Yasharallah is the salvaged lamb. Every time they say my name, that's what they're saying. In their system. And names carry a vibratory, words carry a vibratory energy, y'all. Didn't the Almighty say that death and life is in the power of the tongue?
Power of the tongue, yeah.
So in order to command your energy using your divine wisdom, go in there and make them do it. Put it on the record. Make them speak the name of salvation upon you each and every time they say your name. Hallelujah.
And hallelujah. It's funny. Go ahead, YG.
Real quick, to land back off of Elder, man, it's like we just read that story on our beloved brother that crime that he didn't commit, but he has spent over 40 years in the prison system, man, back in 79. And just to land back off what Elder just brought out, why this keep on happening to us. I want to stay right here where we at. I just want to bring out 3 scriptures, if I may. Jump down to verse 6 and verse 7 and read that, and then we're gonna go to chapter 7, verse 13.
All right, sounds good. This is Hosea chapter 6, verse 6 through 7. It says, "For I desired mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of God more than burnt offerings. But they, like men, have transgressed the covenant. There have they dealt treacherously against me."
Mm-hmm. So,
Hosea. Go ahead, Elder.
So in verse 6 it says, "For I desire mercy and not sacrifice, and the knowledge of the Almighty more than burnt offering." Do anybody know why the sacrifices was imputed in the nation?
Come on, Elder.
It was because of our transgression. It was because of our filthiness. Now, let's not think that we're not filthy today, but we don't have a high priest today. Okay, we are in the punishment phase of the covenant. The covenant still exists. That's why you're in captivity. It's just that you're in the punishment phase. But while you in the punishment phase, you can't act like you not off punishment. What would you do if you put your child on punishment and then he go and turn his TV on and go outside like he not on punishment?
Oh shit!
I'm about to send him to military school. Get him out of my crib.
And just because he's not in your house, he at a neighbor's house or your auntie house, so he gonna go turn on the TV and go outside. That's the same thing that Yasharallah do when we in captivity, calling ourselves keeping Shabbats and feast days. We in somebody else's house acting though we at home, and we not at home. It's just as simple as that.
100%. I love the way you brought that out, Elder. Go to chapter 7 and read verse 13 for us.
Sounds good. This is Hosea chapter 7, verse 13. It says, "Woe unto them, for they have fled from me, destruction unto them, because they have transgressed against me, though I have redeemed them, yet they have spoken lies against me."
So it was Yahuwah, the Most High Almighty, I am our power and strength, that redeemed us from Egypt. Why are we turning around giving our praise and worship to another?
It's a good question. It's a good question. Good question.
If you bailed your child out of jail and you spent your $5,000 to get him out of jail, and he going to the neighbor saying thank you, what you gonna do?
That's what our people do every single year on December 25th. They
Hey,
thank Santa Claus, you know what I'm saying? And the parents be sitting there mad. Like, nigga, I bought those presents. Like, well, bro, why you got the Christmas tree up? You giving honor to Santa.
and they do it every time on when they go to church.
Yep.
Most of the time, when they, not all, but a lot of them giving their praise to JC, but not all.
Yeah.
So I want to get that disclaimer, because this is let the truth be told. We know that everybody don't fit in the paradigm, even though religion itself is man-made. We know there are some good people that's in the Christian doctrine. Heck, a lot of us came out of it ourselves, so we can't act like we didn't come from that. You know,
Right. I'm glad you said that. Right. Because we understand at the end of the day, man, that, you know, in Jeremiah 31 and 31, all the way through 34, a new covenant has to be established, to where it literally specifically says that the reason why that the new covenant is going to be established is so that no man will teach his neighbor or his brother, saying, to know the Almighty, which clearly goes to show, guys, that we have to be humble in this thing, because no matter how much knowledge that the Most High bestows upon us, we don't know everything. We see even the wisest man in the Bible dealing with Solomon literally says, I want to say in Ecclesiastes, let me share this real quick. Let me get this real quick. Salakia. It just hit my spirit. I want to say it's Ecclesiastes 8 and 17. It's been a while since I brought this out. It's Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 17. I want to get this in the NOT, right? So this is Ecclesiastes chapter 8, verse 17. It says, I realize that no one can discover everything God is doing, the Almighty is doing under the sun. Not even the wisest people discover everything, no matter what they claim. So we got to keep in perspective, right? We also see in Jeremiah chapter 8, right? I want to say verse 8, it says, how can you say we are wise because we have the word of the Almighty, when your teachers have twisted it by writing lies? And when you look at this, right, in the King James version, right, this is actually scribes, okay, which is the writers, right, of the entirety of what we have of the modern day Bible. So when we see Jeremiah chapter 8, verse 8 again in the King James version, it says, how do ye say we are wise, and the law of the Almighty is with us, right? Which is what Elder was going into, right? And how our people have it in their minds, right, that we can keep certain laws that are land-based, right? When you're talking about ceremonial laws, when you're talking about sacrificial laws, when you're talking about, those major 4 laws. Now, we know we can do moral laws and things of that nature, but it says, lo, certainly in vain made he it. The pen of the what? Of the scribes is in vain. Mm-hmm. So this is why it's very important, right? Like what we're doing here at Let the Truth Be Told, right? Also what my brothers are doing, you know what I'm saying, and GOZ, right, is to get down to the truth of the matter. We have to be honest with ourselves, right, and accept of our punishment. Part of the punishment is that the Most High allowed some of our scribes, you know what I'm saying, to have the spirit to write lies here in this Torah, Tanakh, and, you know what I'm saying, and we definitely know there's lies all in the New Testament. So you have to be able to understand the foundation. And if you understand the foundation, which the root of that foundation, right, is dealing with the Torah, as far as how we dealt with each other as a nation, then we know what we need to do moving forward so that we can see that again. And I didn't mean to ramble too long, but that was just on my spirit.
That's cool. That's great, because the point is too is that It was never about religion and doctrine when it came to the word of Yah. We had the kingship, the priesthood, and the prophets. That's where they got the executive, judicial, and legislative branches of government today. It was about government. So we have to focus and change our paradigm to thinking about government when we think about the word of the Almighty. But go ahead.
That's right. All right, so this is a video, Elder. You sent this to me. I haven't checked this out yet. We're gonna check it out together. So I'm checking this out live along with y'all. I don't know if you remember this, Elder, that you sent me. You want to be
this is but this was like one of those videos where I found and I saw it was like a aha moment, because a lot of times you've heard me say that they call the Native Americans in the United States Indian. And we hear a lot of our people say, oh, I'm Indian, I'm this and that. You know, and that term Indian was a term that was used incorrectly upon the people that was here natively. And but the thing about it is, even those that subscribe to be Native American call themselves Indian. And I posed a question as to why. So play this video. Let's check this out. This was in 1937, y'all. 1937. A lot of y'all younger people may not know who Shirley Temple was, but she was a childhood white actress.
Yeah, I remember Shirley Temple.
Yeah. We
honestly, I think us 80s babies probably the last real generation who know who Shirley Temple is.
Yeah, for real though, bro. What's that song she sang?
Rockin' and lollipop.
Here we go.
Yeah, bro. Yeah. Oh, badass. Here we go.
But Mommy, if we're in India, where are all the Indians?
They're not the same kind of Indians we have in America, darling.
What kind are they then?
These are the real Indians. The ones back home were called Indians by mistake because when Christopher Columbus discovered America, he thought it was India.
Then is grandfather an Indian?
No, dear. He's an Englishman, a colonel in the army. You know that.
Then why doesn't he live in England?
Because Queen Victoria transferred him here.
Will we live right in grandfather's house?
Why, of course.
Then we won't have to worry anymore about the butcher and the grocerman?
No, darling.
Too bad we didn't get acquainted with grandfather sooner.
Some gems dropped in there, though.
Right, it's a lot of gems in there. You know,
them 1800 gems, y'all.
See, in 1937, the white movie publishers put that in a movie that said that, look, Christopher Columbus thought he was in India. That's why he called them Indians. And my question is, why even does the Native American embrace that name too? I'll give you a sidebar to that. It's just like probably why we embrace African American.
Yep. It's for small little gifts, like what we see in Ecclesiastes 7:7, where a gift will destroy the heart, right? Surely oppression maketh the wise man mad, but a gift destroyeth the heart. Well, that second part, right? What is the gift that destroyed us as a heart? You just brought it up, Elder. Like, why did they accept, you know what I'm saying, to go with that term? All right, well, we just gonna give y'all some reservations, you know what I'm saying, and some casinos, you know what I'm saying. Y'all gonna keep money rolling in. We're gonna make sure y'all got your own medical, your own education, right, and things of that nature. Nobody's gonna touch you, right? Whatever happens in your guys' reservation is what happens. That's on your guys' doing, right? Something that we don't have, you know what I'm saying, as black people, right? Quote unquote black people, right? Yasharala, right? And then you have, you know what I'm saying? And so with that, and then with us, right? What did they do with us? Well, we want you guys to, you know, to take in the name African American. These bywords, you know, right? These proverbs and bywords that we see that was placed on us. We want you guys to accept, right, that the coons, right, and the Uncle Toms that we're paying behind the scenes, you know what I'm saying, buku dollars to present them on the TV screen, to have them represent what we feel, what we want your culture to represent. We want you guys to, you know what I'm saying, to gravitate towards that. And if you guys gravitate towards that, we're going to give you gifts like Section 8, low income, EBT, you know, things of that nature, HBCUs, you know, and we kind of look at these things and we think that, you know what I'm saying, that we're living in a great country and the country is really about us, but they're not. And when you have shows like this, like what we just watched, that were giving us the clues way back then. It just goes to show how blinded we are and how much propaganda and you know what I'm saying, and what's the word I'm looking for, but how much is just, you know what I'm saying, how we don't even see it. But I you
no, absolutely. But you know, I agree with you, but you know, the Section 8 and the housing and all that really started in like the late 60s. You know what I'm saying, going into the early 70s. And Jesse, I think it was Jesse Jackson, he and Reverend, I don't know why they call him Reverend Al Sharpton, they might have been paid, who knows. But they was, you know, complaining to the folks, talking about, we getting tired of being called niggas. We getting tired of being called Afro-Americans. We don't want to be called that no more. We want to be called African-American. And they did that and Jesse Jackson actually did that publicly on TV during the coalition speech. You remember that, Elder?
Exactly.
I actually,
that was in 81 or 82 or something like that.
No, actually, I don't remember the speech, but I do know that the term African American became official. You can correct me if I'm wrong on this, Elder, but I want to say it was 1984, the year I was born, or 85. Yeah, no, it was 84, I believe.
Yeah, because we transitioned from Negro.
Come on. And then we went to
colored.
Okay. And then from
we
Afro-American. No, from color to Afro-American, which
Afro-American,
and then African-American.
Right.
Yeah, so it was a transition. But see, it's just like I know y'all. I know Zamran, you like Mexican food, right? You know, and
me too.
I can't help it.
Me too. I can't help it.
So when y'all eating refried beans, that's what happened to us. We got refried over and over.
Hey, and real quick,
you know,
and my people, if you love Mexican food, stop eating the damn refried beans. It's made with pork lard.
And then even before that, those terms came up. Look, you know, like I hear a lot of our people today. We talked about this on the podcast real quick before we go to the next video. We talked about how our people are subscribing to be indigenous to this land, right? Before the European. Now, we need to understand, and be aware how the quote unquote people came from Africa, how they ended up in the United States. The slave ship didn't come directly to the U.S. It's called the transatlantic slave trade because it's triangular. They left the west coast of Africa. Right now, if you put a boat on the west coast of Africa and just let it go out, a sailboat, where is it going to go? Without a motor. It's going to go to the Caribbean. So the navigation wind took the boats to the Caribbean when they left the shores of Alkebulan and brought them down there to Haiti, Jamaica, Colombia, what they call Puerto Rico. All those places is where we ended up at. And then from there, we transitioned up to the United States. And here's the thing. If you go to the Caribbean, them people down there know they came from Africa. The Jamaicans know it. The Haitians know it. The Colombians know it. Even the Puerto Ricans know it. They all know that they came from Africa. But we, for some reason, disassociate ourselves, some of us, and say we indigenous to here. Now, I'm not going to say that some black people were here. Some Africans were here, but the question is, not question, but the fact is, not all black people are the same, just like not all white people are the same. So how do you know which brand of black person you come from that would have been native to this land prior to the European? And they're not absolutely native. They were just here before the European. But I digress. We can go over to the
but that's a great point though, Elder, because when you look at just the history of just human beings, period, we definitely see, right, that melanin, you know what I'm saying? It was a melanated people, right, that were created on this earth first. There's no way that you know what I'm saying, can just have people that without melanin, right, be created on this earth during the time where the sun was shining at all the time. You know what I'm saying? We didn't even have rain as far as what we've seen, you know what I'm saying, in the Torah. And so, so when you're dealing with the bloodline and when you're dealing like you said, right, this is why we need to humble ourselves down and go off the spirit, because we got some of our people, you know what I'm saying, that look like us, and they bloodline can, you know what I'm saying, go back to a Chinese man. They actually might be Chinese based on their father's, you know what I'm saying, bloodline. You never know.
And not only that, it's just like, okay, most people don't know that there are different kinds of white people. Most people just say all white people are Caucasian. That's not true. The Caucasians come from the Caucasus Mountains, which is in between the Caspian Sea and the Black Sea. That's a particular white person. Then you have Anglo-Saxon.
Anglo-Saxon, right.
Brits. You have the Brits. You have the Slavics. You have the Germanic people. All of them are different kinds of white people, but they're not the same. And if you look at them really closely, you can tell the difference.
Yeah, you can. Like, even modern day, like there's a lot of Ukrainians over here that have moved over here to the Pacific Northwest, over here in the Seattle area. And I can definitely tell like a difference between a Ukrainian, right, and a Russian, which is funny. You know what I'm saying? I can tell a difference between, I can tell who's German. I can tell who's Irish. Like Irish, you know, they have a unique look to themselves. And so this is something that we got to realize, y'all. So
and black people too, the people of black complexion or melanated complexion. Ham had sons. He had Canaan, Put, Mizraim, and they were different. And if you really do your research and looking at who they are today, they are different. They don't carry Negro blood. But when you look at the great sea navigators like Mansa Musa, sent people over to the United States well before the European, well before, and it's documented proof. So that means that there were Hamitic people in the United States. Yes, they did come over here. Okay, but that doesn't mean that they were Negro. That's a different kind of black person. We need to understand that, you know.
That's right. So let's get into some current events as far as dealing with, you know what I'm saying, politics, rumors of World War III, things that we've been seeing, you know what I'm saying, brewing up for some years now. But it's really, really starting to overflow as far as, you know what I'm saying, what we've been seeing over the past year. So let's dive into some few videos. Right, let's get your guys' thoughts. Right, we're gonna get the elders' thoughts. We're gonna get Phineas YG's thoughts. Right, my thoughts on this. Check this out. It says breaking news: Russia warns U.S. starting World War III over Greenland. All right, if you guys haven't been paying attention, you got Trump that's literally on a mission to take over Greenland, and we're gonna get into this, why this is important for the United States and what they're trying to do.
Right. So today it appears we are living in backwards world where Russia is urging the United States to show restraint and to not pick on smaller nations because they could risk us going to World War III and having global conflict with the U.S. versus NATO. And he's saying this is all over Greenland, Russia, that is. And they're saying that the United States should not pick on smaller nations. So today, January 17, 2026, we are living in backwards world. Take a look at the latest headlines so you can see it for yourself. Russia warns Donald Trump that he will trigger the end of the world if he snatches Greenland. Now, this happens as tensions rise between Russia and the West. One Russian official has warned that all-out war could break out if Trump plans to take over Greenland, and he actually goes through with it. He is saying that we're going to be sparking World War III here. Take a look. Now, Donald Trump will cause World War III as the world warns that it'll be the end as we know it, with tensions rising. This actually coming out from Donald Tusk, the Prime Minister of Poland. So we have various nations now warning about what is happening as we're seeing things escalate with Greenland. And take a look, breaking news coming out today, actually just a little while ago. NATO members are going to be facing tariffs increasing to 25% until Greenland purchase deal is struck. Trump is saying, I'm going to strike you all with tariffs until I get Greenland. We're going to make a deal, whether you like it or not. And that is.
And real quick, and as you guys been seeing, this has been the spirit that Trump has been exhorting and, has been expressing since he's his second time in office. Right. He was a little bit more he was a little bit less than what we're seeing the second time around. And a lot of this has to do with prophecy, because prophecy is speeding up. And the thing is, and I want you to elaborate too, Elder and YG, but my thoughts on this is that, a lot of this is brewing up as far as Trump trying to really take over a lot of these lands, is because of the simple fact that these other nations, like what we see prophesied in the Tanakh, they're not depending on the U.S. anymore. They're actually linking up and forming their own alliances, which they're generating their own type of currency, which is something that we've gone into in previous episodes. And so to now, we're at the time period that the currency of the United States is not worth anything anymore. And so when the United States have been using this currency, right, the U.S. dollar, to get their sources and their resources, right, as far as oil, gasoline, things of that nature, gold, things of that nature, over here to the United States. Now these other nations are turning their head around and turning the other way, right, and ignoring the United States, to where it now puts Donald Trump and the government, the Republican and the Democratic Party and the Electoral College and the Illuminati and all, it forces them to literally go into a warlike mindset, to where you're either going to get down or you're going to lay down. But this is what I'm getting from this. I don't know. What do you feel about this, Elder? What do you feel about this, YG?
Well, finish. Go ahead, and I'll come in after you.
Man, hey, Trump turned into Suge Knight. Trump turned into 1996 Suge Knight. He done went out to New York like Suge did, holding up Death Row East posters. We taking over. You know what I'm saying? But hey, all jokes aside though, this is all nothing but a stage play, y'all. Let's not forget that who wrote this New Testament? They're acting it out and letting you know play by play. What people don't realize is it is said in right here in our history book, man, the so-called Bible, man. It's written right here in our book that the devil has to tell you the truth, and he can only work in accordance of what the Most High allows him to do, right? And so you can't understand what a trumpet is if you don't understand what the last trumpet is.
Right. And Trump is that peace. And so good word, Phineas. And I'm gonna just to say some about it, because there's a lot to unpack about this. But one thing that we must know is that the United States itself has been on a downgrade for several years financially, in its financial power. So when we see Trump going after Venezuela, going after Iran, going after Greenland, going after Canada, it's a grab, okay? They need to continue to prop up the financial system of the United States. So as you said, Zamran and Phineas, he's deboing that. How do you go to Venezuela, take their president, bring him to the United States, and hold him under U.S. law? That would be an act of war if somebody did that to the United States or to any country that had any might. That would be an act of automatic war, no questions asked. It's just that Venezuela does not have the military might to do so. So therefore, the United States bullied him like that. Now, I guarantee you they're not going to do Russia or China, somebody that got some sort of military force that could be an opposition. They're not going to do that. But it's not about that. It's about the oil. It's about the oil. It's about the propping up of the currency, which is the reason why he's doing that. So, yes, you know, it's like it's we looking at it, and yes, he's being a renegade. He's doing all of that kind of stuff. And somebody said, yes, Babylon is falling.
This is Imash Sharala. This is he's new to the channel. I've seen him in the chat. Shout out to you. We welcome you, you know what I'm saying, to Let the Truth Be Told podcast. We love you, you know what I'm saying. We appreciate you being here, you know what I'm saying, and engaging in the chat section. But go ahead, Elder.
So the thing is that in order for Babylon to fall, do we really understand what that means? That means that the whole governmental structural system worldwide must fall. Why am I saying that? That's not just pertaining to the United States. That's not just pertaining to Europe. That's pertaining to everywhere. I've been to Al-Kibalan itself. I've been to Africa. Do you know the governmental structure of Africa is still predicated on the European conquest? There's only one country in Al-Kibalan today that has its original name outside of the European conquest, and that's Ethiopia.
Really, I didn't know that.
Oh, speaking of Ethiopia, please forgive me for cutting you off, Elder. If you guys don't even realize that Ethiopia right now is saying they are in the year they are in
Salakia sister. This is Sister Shara from Detroit. Shout out to Detroit in the house. You feel me?
Oh, yeah.
The D in the building.
Ethiopia is operating on 2018 calendar time right now.
Yeah. Yeah.
But just to throw that out there.
Okay. And so the thing is that I applaud the efforts of the countries that are waking up in Al-Kibalan. But the question is, why are they individual countries anyway? They individual countries because of the demarcation of Europe. It was divide and conquer. Every country over there that you in, you got to have a passport to go to the next country. If you in Liberia, you got to have a passport to go to Ghana. If you in Ghana, you got to have a passport to go to Gambia. Now, they have some other things that they have called an ECOWAS passport, which covers a few countries together. But the point is, the leadership in Al-Kibalan still operating on European concepts. Even, I know I love the efforts of President Ibrahim Traoré, but why is he even called a president? Where does that come from? It comes from colonialism, right? When you look, I'm gonna tell y'all right now, y'all take this to bed with y'all. The tools of your enemy that have brought you into captivity, you cannot use those same tools to deliver you.
Facts.
So if you cannot use the westernization management system for governments to deliver you out of this captivity, because you're going to continue to think like a Westerner, and they impregnated even those in Al-Kibalan to have a European way of thinking to govern themselves, and then they go in there and cause corruption, and that's why the things are the way that they are. Again, I applaud the effort, but when Babylon fall, y'all, that means the table is
Everybody
wipe clean. The scriptures say the Almighty gonna wipe the earth as a man wipe a plate. That means that no government is gonna be what it is today. Let's let that be clear. That means you cannot run from the destruction that Yah is gonna bring on the earth. Whether you're in the United States, whether you're in the Caribbean, whether you're in Al-Kibalan, destruction is coming, and it's for you, O Yasharallah, to declare who you are. That's how you put the blood of the lamb on you today, just like we did in ancient Egypt and putting the blood of the lamb over the doorpost. It's time for y'all to do it. Y'all giving us a little space to get that done. Y'all need to take heed to that message, but keep going.
No, that's a great point. Right, let's continue on this.
That's why we're actually hearing Russia coming to the table saying, hey, Trump, calm it down. You're going to cause global conflict. We are hearing that there are warnings urging the United States to calm down as Donald Trump is saying we need to take Greenland. Now, here's the thing. Let me know your thoughts. He is saying that Russia has an invested interest in Greenland along with China. And that is the reason why they are using this rhetoric saying that the United States is going to cause World War III conflict with NATO, because Trump is saying if we do not take it, he is saying, listen, if the United States does not take full control of Greenland and the Arctic, we are in a bad strategic position, and Russia and China are going to take over it, and they are going to gain the advantage to eventually compromise the United States. So he is saying that this is putting America first, that we need this for security purposes. He is saying it is essential that we do this, and we do it now. And he is saying that he is willing to do it for the safety and security of the United States. Right. So today it appears we are living in back.
This is and this is key. Right. I'm going to bring this out real quick, Elder. I got a few verses I want to bring out as far as what he just said, because the involvement, guys, of Russia and China combined is actually prophecy. Right.
Mhm.
However, what do you want to put it? Right. I'm going to go to the book. I want to say it's the book of Ezekiel. It could be Ezekiel 38. Let me see. Yeah, so in Ezekiel chapter 38, all right, you got a prophecy about Gog and future invasion of Israel. Now, Gog is dealing with an actual land, as far as when it says the land of Magog, as we see here in Ezekiel 38, verse 2. It says, Son of man, set thy face against Gog, the land of Magog. When you look at the ancient biblical map, right, of the land of Magog, it's actually dealing with the modern day land of Russia. Okay.
Absolutely. Yep.
It says the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal, a prophecy against him. So just like there's prophecies not only that's been placed against us as Yasharallah, as far as curses, as far as our exile and our captivity, there are also prophecies that are set against these other nations. The reason being, guys, is because the Most High uses war. The Most High uses war as a shift to bring in the new and next power. And you can see this all throughout history. So in verse 3, it says, and say, thus said the Lord God, behold, I am against thee, O Gog, the chief prince of Meshech and Tubal. So the Most High has a beef, guys, right, and an ought against this entire landmass, okay? It says, and I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, and I will bring thee forth in all thine army, horses and horsemen, all of them clothed with all sorts of armor, even a great company with buckler and shield, and all of them handling swords. Now, this is key. This is dealing with, right, when we're reading the Bible, right, there's a lot of. So when it says that I will turn thee back and put hooks into thy jaws, this is a metaphorical phrase that the Most High is using to show in how he's going to captivate, how he's going to control the spirits of those who are living in the land of Gog, when the Most High, or in the land of Magog, when the Most High wants this thing to kick down, which is why we're seeing a lot of war going over there right now. So the Most High has put a hook into the jaws of the people of Russia, of the people of China, all those people that are living in those areas, because it says even a great company with buckler and shields, all of them handling swords. Now it goes into the list of the company that's along with the land of Magog. It says Persia, Ethiopia, Libya with them, right? When you look at those land masses of Persia, Ethiopia, and Libya, this is what you have with the so-called BRICS, okay? It says Gomer and all his bands, right? The house of Togarma of the North Quarters and all his bands and many people with thee. So the war right now, even though statistics is showing that Russia is losing that war to the Ukrainians, at the end of the day, right, the land of the Ukrainians is in the same land of the land of Magog. So eventually, whatever the Most High decides to have the actual leader of this coalition, just know that it's coming out of that landmass. It says, be thou prepared for thyself, thou and all thy company that are assembled unto thee, and be thou a guard unto them. And it says, after many days thou shalt be visited. In the latter years thou shalt come into the land that is brought back from the sword and is gathered out of many people against the mountains of Yasharallah, which have been always waste, but it is brought forth out of the nations, and they shall dwell safely, all of them. So it is prophesied. We already see through other scriptures, right, in the Torah and in the Tanakh, that it's prophesied that modern day Babylon, right, is going to be destroyed, which is why you're seeing a World War III, like somebody said in the comments, that World War III has already been started a long time ago. And so right now, the Most High is putting the hooks into the jaws of the people that are living over there in the land of Magog to turn up war, which is why you're seeing, right, what we see in Joel chapter 3 and how the Most High is stirring this thing up so that he can save the chosen remnant of Yasharallah, to the point that these other nations, right, this new coalition that we're reading here in Ezekiel 38 is going to see that Yasharallah is saved, and to the point that after they've taken down America, they're going to come at us next. But this is what I'm getting from this. What do you got to say about it? I know I said a lot, Elder, but what do you got to say about that?
So to bring it in too is, so Gog and Magog. Gog is the governmental structure, the leadership. Magog is the landmass. Okay. So when we looking at that, we have to understand why is it giving this kind of prophecy at this present time. I'm gonna tell you where Russia's, the seat that Russia sits in today. So when we look at the Greek Empire geographically, when you go to look at the Greek Empire and what it occupied, it occupied this. Later on, the Roman Empire took over the same landmass as the Greek Empire. After the Greek Empire fell, then you had the Ottoman Empire and the Byzantine Empire, which occupied the same area. Okay. Now, after the fall of the Ottoman and the Byzantine Empire, the USSR, I don't know if some people on here know what that is, United Soviet Socialist Republic, which they had that, that Cold War, that
the Soviet Union, absolutely.
Soviet Union. And so that fell. And out of the ashes of the Soviet Union, Russia stayed in power, sitting in the seat of Gog.
Wow.
Okay. That's what you're seeing today. And when Putin told the United States, look, don't do that. Don't do that. What we are looking at, we know all the people that tune into our podcast know that we are Torah Tanakh only, right? But I'm gonna say we are truth only, because there are certain true things or things that we can get out of even a new book that talks about some historical things. If we have eyes to see and ears to hear, for example, I'm gonna have you go to Revelations 13 for a second.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. Let's go there. Let's go to the book of Revelation chapter. You said 13, right? That's a good one.
Correct.
Yeah, man, that's a good one. That's a good one. This is the book of Revelation chapter 13. You want me to start before verse 10 or after verse 10?
I want you to start actually at verse 1.
Okay, sounds good.
Come on, man. You know, Elder's all about context.
This is Revelation chapter 13, verse 1 in the New Testament. It says, and I stood upon the sand of the sea.
Now, Paul, I stood on the sand of the sea. Metaphorically, he stood seeing the nations of the people. Keep reading.
Hold on, let's hold on real quick to prove that, right? So that you guys know that we're not lying. I want to say it's in the same Revelation. Let me go to Revelation 17. I'm coming right back just to piggyback off what you just said, Elder. So look at this, y'all. This is Revelation. Where is it at? Actually, it is in 13. It's in 13. Hold on. It's in the same chapter. I want to say it's verse 17. Salakia, y'all. No, it's not. God, I know what I'm looking for. It's been a while since I brought this out. Where it
Paraphrase.
basically says, where it basically says that the seas are that they're nations.
Right, right. That's
know
in
what I'm
the
saying,
book
as
of
far as what
Revelation. Yeah.
I want to say it's in this same chapter, but it's okay. Let's just continue. Salakia. When it comes to me, I'll get it.
Okay.
If y'all know what I'm talking about, put it in the chat. So it says
Verse
Revelation,
15.
verse 15, right? Verse 15. There we go.
I believe.
It is. No. It's not. It's not verse 15.
No, 17, verse 17, 15.
There we go.
Chapter
My
17, 15.
Yes.
Yeah. Phineas YG to go with it. This is Revelation chapter 17, verse 15. It says, and he says unto me, the waters, right? Because we've seen as being referred to seas, right? So you see seas, water, they all intertwine with each other. It says the waters which thou sawest, right? Which is what Elder's bringing out, which we're reading in Revelation 13. It says where the horse sitteth are peoples and multitudes and nations and tongues.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I was looking for. Let's go
Right.
back to Revelation 13.
And while you going back there, I mean, let
Mhm.
the people know in the chat. Look, we don't throw the baby out with the bathwater. Yeah, we know how the new book is, but there are certain things in here that we can. If you got a connection with the I am, it will show you certain things that they hear that's actually talking about us and not
Exactly.
talking about their doctrine. But keep going.
Right, exactly.
Don't get me started talking about that with where they talking about us on a lot of stuff. People don't even realize that in that New Testament, man. You know what I'm saying? They're calling brother Elijah the what is it? The beast, man. You know what I'm saying? When it talks about in Revelations that he will speak great wonders and bring fire down from the sky. The only person I know that brought fire down from the sky was come on now. And it was the Most High. He was the only one that I read who could bring the Most High down here. Not could bring, but ask the Most High to come down here. And the Most High, every time he came down here, how did he come?
With fire.
Come on, man. Yeah.
This
point
is
that out.
Revelation chapter 13, verse 1 again. And I stood upon the sand of the sea, the sand of the nations, and saw a beast rise up out of the sea.
Now, the beast that rose out of the sea is a government, and the sea is the people. Keep reading.
Having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy.
Now, today I'm not going to go through it, but on a history lesson, I can show you this is the Roman Empire that is speaking of. Keep going.
Right. Which are now formed into your modern day NATO and the EU.
In modern day Russia. Yeah. And now the thing is where we're so the modern day Russians is the Roman Empire, but there's a difference between the beast and the dragon that gave the beast his power. But keep reading.
Yeah, I think we talked about that in the past. You know what I'm saying? For you guys who ain't caught up to us yet, man, the dragon is China, y'all.
Keep.
That's interesting. Verse 2. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear.
Come on, wait, stop right there. That's way too much meat. Please give it to him, please.
Well, when you're looking at the leopard, you're looking at the Greeks, okay?
Yep.
And then when you getting into the bear, what country represents the bear today?
Russia.
Right. And his mouth as the mouth of a lion. Now, how does a lion speak? It roars, right?
That's right.
Right. So when we looking at, then it goes on to say, and the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. Now, in one instance, yes, it can be China, but also remember, y'all, we talking about powers of the unseen that you see. When y'all realize that when the Almighty said, don't look upon the nations on how they serve their gods, he meant that literally. There are other gods. That's why the Almighty, when you say Almighty, that means that Yahuwah is the Almighty over the other mighty ones. When you say Most High, that means that there are other high ones, but He's the Most High. And when
this is a great point too, because I'm glad that Yaz, my judge, brought this up, because we're going over Revelation, right? But the foundation of what the scribes, got to put in Revelation, a lot of that foundation comes from Daniel, as far as dealing with the vision that he got, as far as dealing with the statue.
Right.
And
he understood by book. He understood Yirmiyahu.
That's right.
So he understood the vision that he got. And that's a whole nother thing. We talked about this before about the abomination that make it desolate don't actually have nothing to do with this. The abomination that make it desolate happened way before that. That's about during the Maccabean period, which when we go through that, it don't have nothing to do with this right here.
I figured that. I'm glad you brought that out.
That's a whole other thing.
Hey, and
let's
quick,
go ahead, Phineas.
For my brothers and sisters who don't know, Elder's talking about with Yirmiyahu, you know what I'm saying? It's Jeremiah.
Right.
I let them know.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? They
Right.
talking about
Yabba,
we gotta let them know. Talking about Jeremiah, brothers.
My bad.
They not ready for them ebonics.
Right.
Well, actually, Jeremiah is
actually,
they're not ready for the truth.
They're right, because Yirmiyahu was his real name, but we said Jeremiah according to the English term that we've been under.
Let's call it layman's terms.
Hey, shalom to you, sister. We appreciate you for being up on here. Make sure you hit that like, share, and subscribe. We love to see you back up on here every single Sunday, you know what I'm saying, at the same time for Let the Truth Be Told podcast. Y'all put a W in the chat, you know what I'm saying, for our sister, man. First time on the channel, you know what I'm saying. Said she enjoyed herself, you know what I'm saying, spending time with us today, you know what I'm saying. Put those W's in the chat for our sister. All praise to the Most High and Him alone. Salaki.
Hallelujah. Go ahead, keep going.
So it says, verse 2, it says, and the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power and his seat and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed, and all the world wondered after the beast. And they worshiped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast, and they worshiped the beast, saying, who is like unto the beast, who is able to make war with him. I see where you making the little ties with China, Phineas. And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies, and power was given unto him to continue 42 months.
Okay, so what happens is, because it say 42 months, and when they go into the prophecy of Daniel, sometimes they mistakenly place this there, but we can show you with history that Daniel was talking about that was a whole nother prophecy.
Really going, that's going into years,
you know. And but the point is today, you know, we want to just read a little bit out of here, but the thing is that when you start taking your mind out of religion and out of doctrine, and when you reading, you focus on knowing who people are, knowing timing, and knowing the place of prophecy. You got to know the place, the people, and the time. When you know that, then you can properly place what is prophecy in the word of the Almighty for a particular people. So when we're looking at this thing, when we're looking at how Russia is coming up, right? It is the last standing seat of the Greek and the Roman and the Ottoman and the Byzantine Empire. Now, when we're looking at the United States, okay, they have their trinity, y'all. The trinity of the United States is, look, the United States is Mashiach. The king is the Great Britain, and its prophet is, guess what? The Vatican. That's the world church that's recognized by everybody. I don't care what country it is. When the Pope come on the scene, the world is paying attention to it. Why is that? Now, notice the Pope is out of Rome, but you got to connect the dots. Russia is sitting in the seat, the last seat of the Roman Empire.
That's a great point. That is a great point.
So when you start to analyze geopolitical movements and how things connect, then you can start to see how these pieces fit together. But again, we're gonna have to do a show about all of that, because we have to go and uncover and look at some history and put stuff on the board so people can see what we're talking about. But just wanted to let people know that stop reading the book like it's a religious book. Even though we don't deal with the new book from a perception of how they gravitate to a savior and all that kind of stuff, there's some things that you can take with you. Don't throw out the whole baby with the bathwater when you read.
Right.
It,
Right. We just not dealing with, the whole, blood sacrifice, human sacrifice, man. You know what I'm saying?
Baptism, all that.
Baptisms, self-appointed savior that the Most High did not appoint. You know what I'm saying? That type of stuff, man.
You the Mashiach. Y'all chasing y'all tail, family. The Almighty called forth Yasharallah to be the salvation of the earth. But you have to get back in that seat. You got a seat too. Just like Russia and all of them got a seat that they sit in, that the dragon gave them the power. Guess who give you the power, Yasharallah, when you sit
Talk about it. That's us, Elder. That's right.
Absolutely.
So let's get into this video real quick. You know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all in the chat rocking with us on Let the Truth Be Told podcast, man. Like I said, we getting into any and everything, man. Make sure you guys, as we play these videos, drop your guys', thoughts, your comments, on the things that we're discussing, the things that we're showing, all that, help supports and pushes in the algorithms. I love y'all, Let's continue to get into this. Let's check this out.
Black people in America, whether enslaved or free, cannot be U.S. citizens. I want you to hear what I just said. And I just said it. Black folks in America, whether you were slaved or freed, cannot be U.S. citizens. Hear me out. Don't call me a racist just yet. It's the best thing for you. And you need to understand the relevance of it. Okay. The overturning the Dred Scott, the 14th Amendment clause was designed to reverse the...
Come on. Hey. I be finding the good stuff, huh? Come on, Elder.
So one correction of what he said. The ruling in the Dred Scott case was black people, whether slave or free, could not be citizens. Not U.S. citizens, but citizens. There's a difference.
What is that called? What is that called? The what Scott case? What is it
Dred
called?
Scott. The Dred Scott ruling case. What it was Dred Scott was a slave born in Virginia. His slave master took him from Virginia to Missouri, and when he got to Missouri, they were the abolitionists. I'm sorry, to Illinois.
I got it.
All of that was part of the same ownership in Missouri at that time.
All right. So it says the Dred Scott decision issued by the U.S. Supreme Court on March 6, 1857, ruled that Dred Scott, an enslaved man, was not entitled to his freedom, and that African Americans could not be considered U.S. citizens. Dred Scott was an enslaved person who had lived in free territories like Illinois and the Wisconsin Territory with his owner, an army physician. After returning to Missouri, Scott sued for his freedom, arguing that his time spent in free territory entitled him to emancipation. The case eventually reached the U.S. Supreme Court after lengthy legal battle. Go ahead.
So I want to make sure that I want y'all to look. 1857, right? 1857, what you just had on the screen, it says that rulership came in, right? I want you to pull up Google when the U.S. citizenship started. I'm gonna pull
let me get that real quick. When did what? U.S. citizen start?
U.S. citizenship start.
Okay.
What year did it start?
I love that older man. He don't be playing no games.
He don't play no games, y'all. Yeah, I'm over here like a secretary. All right, here we go. So look at this, y'all. So we got 1790. It says that the U.S. Let me get this off the screen real quick. It says that the U.S. citizenship began with the Naturalization Act of 1790, which established the first rules for granting national citizenship to quote unquote free white people. This act marked the start of a formal pathway to citizenship in the United States. Over time,
that's key. It marked the pathway, but keep reading because the year of U.S. citizenship was later. Keep going.
It says that it start a formal pathway to citizenship, Slovakia, in the United States. Over time, access to citizenship has expanded, including the provision of birthright citizenship starting in 1868.
Okay, 1868. 1868 was when the U.S. citizenship started. The ruling in the Dred Scott case was 1857. So when they ruled, actually, when you go, because that law is still on the books, when they ruled that Africans could never be citizens, free or slave, in 1857, that was before U.S. citizenship. Somebody put 1865, but the point is that it was the U.S. citizenship was after that ruling came in Dred Scott. So the question to everyone, what kind of citizenship was it talking about when it said that Africans, free or slave, could not be citizens? It wasn't U.S. citizenship. You know what it was?
What was it?
State citizenship.
Oh, that makes sense because you've been going into that for a few episodes, talking about the state that you live in is basically the God that you know what I'm saying that's governing you, like that power that's governing you.
And each state is its own sovereign nation. That's why it's called the United States, because each nation came in its own. There's a convention called the Hague Convention. Every governor of the United States has to go in representation in the Hague Convention for themselves. Like you got Hague countries and non-Hague countries, but all the governors from the United States got to go because each state is its own sovereign entity. You ever thought about why does each state have its own constitution? Because they have actually state governance is higher than U.S. governance. Is just that the state is in the pockets of the United States financially. So then they give up some of their sovereignty for U.S. dollars or the U.S. backing. You know.
So real quick, I pulled this up, Elder. So we got the Hague. I'm glad I spelled it right. Right. We got the Hague Conventions, right, of 1899 and 1907, just to kind of give, you know what I'm saying, those who's watching a little bit more of an insight. It says that the Hague Conventions of 1899 and 1907 are a series of internations negotiated at the two international peace conferences at the Hague in the Netherlands. Interesting. It says, along with the Geneva Conventions, the Hague Conventions were among the first formal statements of the laws of war and war crimes in the body of secular international law. A third conference was planned for 1914 and later rescheduled for 1915, but it did not take place because of the start of World War I. And as you look at these pictures, Elder, right, as you see, it's kind of similar as far as the secret society type of meetings that they've had, even all the way back, you know what I'm saying, dealing with crafty counsel in Psalms 83, right? When you guys look at these pictures, let me scroll in just a little bit, right? I want you guys to see something. Not everybody is going to be invited in a room like this. When you look at the images in the background of this room, right? It's a lot of history dealing with how our oppressors, you know what I'm saying, ran the world, how they conquered and things of that nature. So you're dealing with a room full of people. You see everybody dressed up in black and white, which showing you their allegiance, right, to the Masonic, you know what I'm saying, temple and things of that nature, right? That can be another episode we can get into. But This is what you guys are seeing when you guys are reading the book of Psalms 83 and it's talking about crafty counsel. To put it in a nutshell, as far as dealing with the visual aspect, this is exactly what it's talking about. Okay, this is what crafty counsel looks like. Men that you are not going to see walking around in your everyday neighborhoods, and you're going to see in your local grocery stores. These are men that control the quote unquote power. Okay, what elders going into that are making the decisions to keep them in reign. All right, that keeps us low and at the bottom toll. But I yield.
And so to prove the point, if you go to your Secretary of State office, let's just say you want to travel to another country. Each state has its process of authenticating a document. There's two forms of authentication. There's an authentication and there's an apostille.
What is apostille? What does that mean?
So apostille is a certain form of authentication. So when a country is part of the Hague Convention, then when you go get a document authenticated, it's called an apostille. But when a country is not part of the Hague Convention, it's just authenticated. This carries a similar weight, but you got Hague countries and non-Hague countries. You can research that too. But all Hague countries, if you're leaving from the United States and you want to have a document carry some weight over in another country, you have to get it apostilled or apostilled, or however they say, but it's apostille the correct term. Some people say apostle, but it's apostille or authenticated. And when you get, they put a certificate on it, they seal it, they stamp it, and it goes right into your document, and you can't remove it. Once you remove that seal, then it's no longer certified for that country, okay, that you're going to. And so the governance of each state has its own process when they doing that document for you. Now, the United States Secretary of State office in Washington, D.C. also has its authentication process. They have an apostille and authentication. So you can get a state authentication apostille, and you can get a federal authentication and apostille. You can get it on top of each other at the same time, and you can use those in different countries. So just to let you know how this system is all one. Babylon got to fall. The system is all one. You cannot use the tools of your oppressor to free you, Yasharala. We got to put down the power of the enemy, whether it be religion, whether it be politics, all this stuff it's going to fall away. So I saw somebody in the chat say, so are y'all brothers promoting us going somewhere else? Look, when Yah pulled the trigger, just like he did in ancient Egypt, and he give a shout out, and whoever he sent forth to speak, Yasharala, it's time to go. Y'all better listen. Because at that point, if you don't listen, you're going to be just like in ancient Egypt when Moshe and Aaron told them to put the blood over the doorpost and the angel of death, so the angel of death would pass over them. Y'all know Yasharala today. Y'all know y'all people today. Y'all know doggone well that all of us did not put that blood over the doorpost. And so that the firstborn of many of our people died that day because we were disobedient. And so the same thing now, y'all. Y'all need to cover yourself under the only name of salvation that's here. It ain't JC. It's not Allah. It's your bloodline, ethnic, and national identity. Okay? You need to go and declare it in the system of man. We always talking about that we Yasharalites or we Hebrews and we doing all these praises and going to Shabbat service and feast day keeping and all of that. But the same person is Joseph Clark at work. But you Moshe Ben Yehuda when you at your service. You know what I'm saying? That's a double-minded man who's unstable in all his ways. When we gonna stop reading the scripture and be the scripture? Period.
Come on now. Hey,
There's some bars.
Bars. When you gonna stop? Come on. Hey, y'all put a
Okay.
W in the chat for my elder, man.
Put those W's in the
was
chat for the
hard.
elder. I'm clipping that, elder. I'm about to make that a short. All that you just said.
That bars. Woo-wee.
Elder dropping his knowledge, y'all. So let's get back to this video. All praise to the Most High and Him alone.
Supreme Court's decision in 1857, Dred Scott versus Stanford, decision which held that black people, whether enslaved or free, could not be U.S. citizens. The 14th Amendment ensured citizenship for formerly enslaved people and their descendants. So you black people in 1857, right before the Civil War started, treaties made in pursuance thereof, Supremacy Clause, says that you're free. Says that you are not even allowed to be a U.S. citizen. And I know most people says, oh, I am a U.S. citizen. Oh, you don't want to be. Because as a U.S. citizen, your government is your creator and you're under their rules and jurisdiction.
Stop.
Now, the reason that they said this is that
we've been telling y'all this for a minute. Y'all got to
Exactly.
hear it from the white boy. Man, we've been telling y'all this for a minute.
Yeah,
Yep.
you know, hey, you know they gotta hear it from the white boy. You know what the scriptures say. You know what I'm saying? Let me pull this up real quick, just in case y'all didn't know. Real
Well,
quick, 2 seconds. This ain't gonna take me long. This is one of my favorites, bro. You know what I'm saying? Let's get the book of Sirach. I want to say it's chapter 13. All right, let's go to verse 23. It says, when a rich man speaketh, every man holdeth his tongue. And look what he says, y'all. They extol it to the clouds. But if the poor man speaks, they say, what fellow is this? Like, what nigga? Who is this nigga? And if he stumble, they will help to overthrow him. Salakia, go ahead.
Well, you know, the thing is, as long as y'all going out there, you can tell us all day that you Yasharala, but y'all putting on y'all driver's license and everything that you U.S. citizen. You don't even bear the last name, the name that the Almighty gave you as a nation. On your driver's license, you Suzette Jackson or John Clark, and you're gonna give us the excuse and say, hey, y'all know who I am. It ain't about
Elder.
what God know. It's about
Elder.
your enemy knowing who you are.
Elder, I'm gonna text you when we get done with this. I'm gonna text you some new first and last names of white people's names. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna work
Give
on
me some new ones because I always be saying the same. Hey, look. Hey, we got Williams, Jackson, all of that. Wilson, I know you. And just pick one.
You know, we got names like Striker, you know,
Yeah.
Cody. You know,
Right.
we got last names like Stravinsky,
Right.
Wiener Snitchell.
Hey, look. Whippy.
Look at YG.
Whippy Goldberg. Her last name is Goldberg.
Hey, only Goldberg I know is the wrestler from WCW.
Hey, right.
You know what her family-
But Goldberg
you know
is an
what plantation her
Ashkenazi
family
name.
was on.
Goldberg is an Ashkenazi name. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, that's really? I didn't know that.
Yeah, that's an Ashkenazi Goldberg. That's one of their names. You know. But
Shout out to my brother Bez. My brother Bez said we gonna help you out, Elder.
the thing is that, but if you subscribing to be African American, U.S. citizens, as the man said, that's your God is the one who gave you that name, and we all at this present time, Yah said, and he did not lie, and his word don't come back void. You gonna serve your enemies and your God and their gods. So why you keeping your so-called Shabbats and feast days, going to church on Sunday, going to the mosque, whatever, Yasharala, y'all still serving the gods of this land. Y'all serving the state, y'all serving the city that you live in, and I want you to prove me wrong because I guarantee you go and get that license, that driver's license from the state. You paying your taxes. You doing all that stuff in homage to the authority.
That's right.
That's a fact. You can't get around it. Yah will not be mocked. When he said you're going to serve your enemies and their gods, Who gonna stop that? Nobody. In actuality, he made that a law as part of your punishment.
Hey, man, I'm glad you said that, because the punishment is so detailed and so thorough that it's you might as well say it's a law that was established on us. You know what I'm saying? Like, what happens when you break the law? Just even in modern day times, there's punishments that's come with it. So when you're dealing with the law, right, or just with the word law, the whole idea of it, right, is dealing with what my brother Bez says all the time, you know what I'm saying, of GOZ, is stipulations, right? Based upon stipulations, right? I present this, and whatever decision that you decide to make, there's two different type of decisions that you can make as a nation or individually. Whatever decision that you decide to make is going to determine the type of impact or the type of outcome, right, that comes your way, whether that's positive or whether that's negative. And when you look at us as a nation, clearly we've been making the wrong decisions, which is why we've had nothing but a negative impact on us as a nation. And here, truth be told, we're trying to bring this truth out so that we can bring more positive impact, not only within us, within our families, but with us as a nation, so that the Most High can see this thing, man, speed this thing up, and get us up out of here, bro.
I see YG. He got his license up there.
No, Elder, hold on. You ain't gonna block your stuff out. Don't you do it.
I'm gonna try to. Let me see.
We're not telling y'all nothing that we haven't done, y'all.
Right. Right. So yeah. So when y'all see Shemaiah, that's see me on here as Shemaiah. That's really who I am. You know,
I'm catching up, y'all. I'm catching up, y'all. They Elder and YG been on my head, bro. I'm catching up. I promise y'all. I'm catching up.
I don't know if I can get it right. I don't know.
My ID gonna be next.
Can you see it?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah, that's my name on there. Yeah,
Elder, you look like a ex Compton OG on that picture.
Hey, I got some stories that Elder told me. Hey, a real OG. This Elder. Hey.
Y'all know Elder's still in shape and beat your ass out here. Better be careful.
You know it. Hey, look, I know too.
Elder don't want to don't spill the beans, Elder. Elder about to give y'all his whole lineup, you know what I'm saying, who he came up with. All right, let's push play. Go ahead, YG.
Back to the matter at hand, man. Y'all see, hey, wind the video back just a tad bit, and then let's continue, man, before we expound on that.
All right, got you. Here we go.
Treaties made in pursuance thereof, supremacy clause, says that you're free. Says that you are not even allowed to be a U.S. citizen. And I know most people says, oh, I am a U.S. citizen. Oh, you don't want to be. Because as a U.S. citizen, your government is your creator and you're under their rules and jurisdiction. Now, the reason that they said this is that you were brought here, bought and paid for. You were a slave. Immigrants come here either illegally or legally. Are you with me? To better their life. You didn't have that option. That's why you wasn't even allowed to be a U.S. citizen. So you was free from 1857 from this Supreme Court case, which the Constitution and all them white people that y'all hate freed you. Y'all just didn't catch the memo. The federal government created a war, and then they fucking designed an amendment that completely conflicts with the supremacy clause.
Positive.
Treaties made in pursuance thereof, the Constitution is the law of the land.
Elder, I you can go into this way better than I can. Please break that down for me.
So, you know, when he was talking about our people, you know, you're not U.S. citizens, and that's your God, he's right. And the thing about it is that what he's trying to tell you is this. They ruled that you could not be a U.S. citizen. That rule is or be a citizen at that point in time. They ruled, that was the rulership. In their own law, what he's saying is that you can use that to your advantage when you go into their system and say, hey, look, your court said that an African, free or slave, can't be a citizen, and that's still on the books. It's Chief Justice Taney who ruled that in 1857. I think it's Taney or Tanal. I might be pronouncing the name wrong, but that Chief Justice ruled that in 1857. And what he's saying is that that law is on the books. You can go in there, you got your card to say, look, I'm not a U.S. citizen. Y'all said I'm not a U.S. citizen. Y'all said I could never be a U.S. citizen. So I'm just going to keep you to your word. Roger Taney. Yep. That's the Chief Justice.
So it says Roger B. Taney served as the 5th Chief Justice of the United States from 1836 until his death in 1864, and is best known for his controversial ruling in the Dred Scott case.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So these are facts that we bringing out, y'all. These are facts that we discussing. This is not something that we taking off the hip. This video that Brother Phineas found is dropping a lot of nuggets out here, but it should tell you, it's shaking your cage, y'all. Since y'all want to listen to the white man, he telling you, go and declare who you are. If you're not a U.S. citizen, then you need to declare who you are, period.
Can you expound on when he said that then they went and made?
Hold on, real quick. Y'all keep going to give me 2 seconds. I gotta go bring my daughter to my baby mom.
Okay. All right. Go ahead.
All right. Not some.
Can you expound on when he said that they made what did he say? They made amendments that conflicted with the law.
Oh, okay. So that's what he's talking about here, is that when the Chief Justice ruled that you could not be a citizen, then they made the 13th and 14th and 15th Amendment that conflicted with the ruling that Chief Justice Taney made in 1857. So it's a conflicting law on the table. That's why when you running around saying that you're a U.S. citizen, and what he's saying is that them amendments that they added later conflicts with the rulership that the U.S. government made.
Something that's
sure everybody understood
that's just like in certain states, marijuana is illegal, or certain states it is legal, or the United States government say it's illegal. So you got conflicting laws across the board. Same thing with carrying a concealed pistol. You know, they got a right to bear arms, but in Illinois you can't carry a concealed or carry open carry. But you got a U.S. law to say you got a right to bear arms, but they tell you in Illinois state you can't do that.
Yeah, it is. It's just confusion, and that's why we living in modern day Babylon, the land of confusion, y'all. Babel. You understand? Let's continue.
conflicts with the Supremacy Clause. Treaties made in pursuance thereof, the Constitution is the law of the land. All right, not something that the bar registry puts forward and condemns as unconstitutional. So, constitutional hillbilly here. You black people, you need to go back and read that, because the 14th Amendment says that you're admitting that you're slaves or you're descendants of slaves. If you're not allowed to be a U.S. citizen as a black person before the Civil War, you were getting ready to be freed. You understand that?
Right.
Black people in America.
And let's look at this real quick. I just pulled this up. Let's look at this real quick. Let's look at this 14th Amendment. All right, let me scroll in just a tad bit. All right, it says in section 1, we're not going to go over this whole thing. Just probably section 1. It says all persons born or naturalized in the United. Hold on, let me share this, Salakia. All persons born or naturalized in the United States and subject to the jurisdiction thereof are citizens of the United States and of the state wherein they reside. No state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges or immunities
immunities
of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property without due process of law, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. And we see clearly that we're not under that.
We're gonna break this down like we break scripture down, because there's so many codes in here.
Mm-hmm.
Remember, the United States law, state law are in codes. U.S. code such and such, state code such and such. So here it says, all persons. Let's deal with persons, okay? There's a definition of person that's most people are not privy to. You have a tax definition of person, and you have a legal definition of person. Did y'all know that corporations are persons? They are corporate fictions. The question is, what kind of person are you when it's talking about this? It's not talking about flesh and blood. You became a person under this law when you was issued a birth certificate and a social security card. That's when you became a person. So it says all persons born and naturalized. Naturalized is a whole process of when they take you to the doctor. So because you a vessel traveling at sea by way of your mother, and she go to the doctor. Notice a ship docks at a dock, right? So when she give birth, she going to the dock to let out her precious cargo. Now, when the cargo goes out, then you become naturalized in the United States, not America. It don't even say America. When it said the United States, it's talking about the United States Corporation. Go back up to that top real quick.
Hey, man, wait a minute. Hey, I need some W's in the chat. I don't know if y'all catching all that. He just dropping gems and giving bars everywhere. W's in the chat for my elder Shemaiah, man. I need to see them W's in the chat. Oh, my goodness. I hope y'all catching this.
And so the United States that you see here is a corporate fiction. The United States operates under trust law. It's a trust, and everybody born that becomes naturalized in the United States bears a social security number and a birth certificate. Okay, that's how you naturalized by documentation here. You have a bond on you at that point. You are a literal bond servant more than you was on the plantation. Today, you got the bond, the U.S. bond on you, okay? And so under the United States SIC or corporation, that's what you answer to. So your body, you walking around, you got this fleshly body, but it don't deal with the body. It deal with paper. For example, you can go to a police officer. They could be looking at you dead in the face, see you, and say, where's your identification? Why do they do that? They do that because they gotta see the paper that make you naturalized.
Wow.
Okay. It don't matter. It don't matter. They talking to the flesh and blood person. That don't mean nothing. What means something to them is what's on that paper. So it said, see, we in the matrix and don't know it. It says, and subject to the jurisdiction thereof. So when you subject to jurisdiction, that means you subject to an authority. Remember the shows before, a God is an authority.
That's right, Elder.
You're going to serve their enemy and their gods. And it says, are citizens of the United States. That's the God, the ultimate, one of the ultimate gods under this pecking order, because you got the city authority, state authority, or county authority, state authority, and federal authority. You answer to all of them. But because the other gods are in bed with the United States, you ultimately answer to the United States. And it says, and other states wherein thy reside. So it changed state. It don't even say state citizenships anymore. they changed state citizenship terminology to state residence. You became a resident of the state because they want to hide the fact about state citizenship. Then it says, no state shall make or enforce any law which shall abridge the privileges. Wait a minute. What's a privilege, y'all? A privilege is something that you could be given.
Given.
It could be taken away.
Right.
So it's a privilege for you. It says it can't abridge privileges, but that means that, look, all the stuff that you got that they give you can be taken away.
That's facts.
By your God, okay? And it says, or immunities. That's, again, another word for privileges of citizens of the United States, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property. But notice this, any person. It's not even talking about the flesh and blood, y'all. It's talking about who you are on paper. This is why it's important for you to go to their system and declare who you are on paper. Period.
Wow. And that makes sense. That's a great point, right? On paper. Because when you're looking at ICE and how they've been moving, right? We're seeing how they're moving recently to the point that now we seen they were moving at first. They're looking at skin tone, right? They're looking at, you know what I'm saying, at the nationality, you know what I'm saying, by face value. Okay. Even though we know that we have a lot of so-called, you know what I'm saying, Native or Latinos, you know what I'm saying, and Hispanics that are actually here, you know what I'm saying, legally based off of paper, like what you were talking about. Okay.
Right.
And now, right, now ICE is literally pressing any and everybody, right, for that documentation, for that paper. So I see a lot of our people, right? Well, you know, ICE ain't bothering us, you know what I'm saying, as a black people. But little do we know, right, that's going to happen to us too as well, right? To where they're going to come in and impress us, you know what I'm saying, to make sure that we're legally documented by paper and things of that nature. And so this is how the Most High is going to, you know what I'm saying, restore us. He's going to force us, right, to be documented, you know what I'm saying, under his name, called by his name, Yasharallah, right? And we truly have to be called by the name of Yasharallah, you know what I'm saying, to experience, you know what I'm saying, that true salvation or that true change as far as what we're looking for. So when Elder and Phineas are talking about what they've been pushing here on Let the Truth Be Told podcast, as far as, you know, name change, that's just one of many things, because action is what's going to, has how we're going to see change. Whenever you're going through something and things are not working out, it takes action, right? And so we have to make different changes in our action so that we can see this change, because we're seeing action happening right now in the United States and in many other countries right now because of change wanting to be established because of the downfall. So this downfall that we've been talking about, guys, that's in the chat, that's been watching, that elder, you know what I'm saying, and YG's been bringing out, you know what I'm saying, in the videos that we've been watching, understand that all these are for signs that the Most High has given us this grace in this time period for us to make the action that we need to make, right, to make that change. Okay, so that we're not late.
We've been saying that. What episode is this? What number episode is this?
We probably on episode 30, probably at the 35.
Man, we've been doing this for a while now, man.
Yep.
And we are literally now at the end of it all. You guys, y'all seeing what's, man, look at here. They are rioting and everything in Massachusetts. Is it Massachusetts or is it Minnesota? I forget which one.
Minnesota. You know, it's funny. It's funny that it's always starting in Minnesota. When you think about the the George Floyd thing, Minnesota lately has been the main state to kind of start the whole riots and protesting and stuff like that. Then everybody else catches on.
Which one's
Hey,
the other?
hey, go back to that screen before you play that video.
Yeah.
Last point. So, what that you had.
Yep, I got it right here.
And so where it says, I'm going to go down to where it says, nor shall any state deprive any person of life, liberty, or property. But the key is without due process of law. That means that they can deprive you as long as they take you through due process of law. Do y'all know what due process of law is?
No.
Gun line, boss.
Due process is
Tell him about the gun line, boss. Salute to that. Tell him about the gun line, boss. Salute to that, Phoenix YG. Tell him about the gun line, boss. That's my guy.
So the due process is the process in which you go to court. That means if they take you into court, they can deprive you of life, liberty, and property, meaning that they can go to court and give you a death sentence. They can take your life. You can go to court and liberty. They can take away your freedoms. You can go to court. They can take your property. But they were saying is they can't do it without due process, meaning they can't do it without taking you to the judge, which represents the authority of their God-like system. Then it says, nor deny to any person within its jurisdiction the equal protection of the laws. But again, it's about persons, and we have to understand that it's not talking about flesh and blood. It's about who you are on paper. So whoever you put down that you are on paper, that's what gives them jurisdiction. That's what the white boy was saying. And here, like I seen in the chat, like some people say, well, my father was from Jamaica. My father was from Haiti. That's a whole nother paradigm. Look, we're not going to leave no stone unturned. If you declare to be Jamaican, Haitian, Cuban, Puerto Rican, from Gambia in Alkebulan, any country over there, whether you Liberian or whatever the case may be, if you Yasharala, if you the Hebraic seed, if you a Shemitic bloodline, and you declaring to be under authority of another God entity name like I just gave, then you're not taking on your heritage. Period. I know that's hard for certain people to say here, but if you are Shemitic Hebrew of the nation of Yasharala and you saying I'm Jamaican or you saying I'm Haitian, you just as bad as saying you a U.S. citizen.
Hey, you know what? And I'm gonna ruffle some feathers because this is what I do. You can even say I am an Israelite. And
Right.
what, elder?
Hey,
No, what, Phineas? Stop making elder. No, Phineas, you be having some gems too, bro. Stop giving us halfway gems.
You can call yourself a Hebrew Israelite and still not be taking on your heritage because even that name is a misnomer.
There we go.
Yes.
There we go.
Yep.
Yeah, you're gonna start finishing your gems, YG. You can't just give us a half a gem and then ask the elder to finish the other half.
Hey, man.
That's been going on for 20 episodes.
It's all good. Whenever y'all want, hey, I'm gonna come in whenever y'all need me. It's all good.
Hey, real talk though, y'all. Y'all see what's going on. Hey, it is about to be real serious around here in a minute. Hey, y'all seen what's going on in Minnesota? Y'all seen what's going on the East Coast, out there in Philly, all throughout Pennsylvania? You understand what I'm saying? ISIS hit here in Kansas City. Man, they was just downtown on Friday evening, bro. Thousands of people out there because the mayor, I want to say his name so bad, and this company, I want to say the company's name so bad, are allowing ICE to take over a building downtown, to gut it out and turn it into a concentration camp. Right here in Kansas City, Missouri.
Wow.
That's
correct. Oh man,
I'm saying. And so we're literally at the brink of civil war. And I'm gonna tell you right now, people, when civil war break out, there ain't no more laws, ain't no more. This is why I said on the last show, we are in the third world country now. It's over with. It's already over. It's done. You have this much time.
How much time?
And man, this much time.
That's right.
To go in man's system and change your name and put the name of salvation on you and call yourself what the Most High called you. Yasharallah. It is not Israel. You ain't no dang on Hebrew Israelite. You are a Hebrew Yasharalite. I mean, let's get it correct here.
Mm-hmm. And do it like you said as soon as possible. I mean, you hear us saying it. I know some people say, "Oh, what they talk." It don't matter what my name is. It matters. It matters greatly. You saying it don't matter, but you gonna take your butt to the state and put your name on that driver's license every year, every time you got to renew it, and it's gonna be that slave name that you had off the plantation. You know. So
yeah, I'll be delivering these packages, and some of these packages be requiring indirect signatures. You know what I'm saying? And adult signatures. Mm-hmm. And when they're giving them the little device, they gotta sign their name, and whatever name they put up on there, that's what they're declaring themselves to be. You know what I'm saying? And if they don't sign their name to declare themselves, I'm not giving them the package. So,
yeah,
keep that in mind.
You are not. Hey, man, you can call yourself Yasharallah all you want. But if it's not on paper, if it's not on record, even in, I know they be like, well, why would I put it in man's system? Man, you are, like Elder said, I don't know how many episodes ago, your ass is already theirs. Yeah. So you might as well put your name on it. That the Father called you.
And the Almighty told us to look. He said, "Those that are called by my name." Who is all calling you by the name of Yah? Now, we can say we this and we that, but when you go to work, when you go to school, when you go purchase something, when you show your identification card, you show your credit card, all that stuff, who they calling you? That's you need to answer that. You answer that for yourself. Who are they calling you? And who are they looking for? And who are you representing on that piece of paper? Are you representing the name that Yah gave your heritage? Or are you representing the name that the slave owner put on your forefathers? Period.
That's right. Let's get to this last video. Right, we got a lot of stuff jam-packed. We're gonna continue to keep, you know what I'm saying, pressing forward, you know what I'm saying, in future episodes, you know what I'm saying, dealing with these current events as far as what's going on to keep you guys updated, because that's what's hot right now, and that's what we need, you know what I'm saying, to be on, you know what I'm saying. So we appreciate you guys for being here for another episode of Let the Truth Be Told podcast. Let's get into this. Elder, I think you sent this to me. This is dealing with Charleston White before he was famous. Okay, a lot of people may know Charleston White as the internet character who says a lot of outlandish things. You know what I'm saying? I think the guy's funny personally. I like to do. That's just my personal opinion. But you know, to each his own. But let's check out Charleston White. You know what I'm saying? And let's look at this. Right? It looks like he's in Fort Worth, Texas, in some type of courtroom, dealing with what it looks like to be a bunch of politicians. So let's see what we got here.
White, I will remind you that this is a civil body, and if your language is inappropriate, you will be removed from the chamber.
Well, I'm not a civil man. This country once sold my ancestors, so civility is.
I know, YG, look like T.I. up there, ain't he? Look at them balls.
Look what he got on his shirt.
Nigga. Hold on, Elder, with some blue jean overalls. That is just confusion. He done went and got some, you know what I'm saying, some Uncle Ben, you know what I'm saying, old school white Uncle Ben overalls, right? And then got the nigga on the shirt, right, with the dreads that's barely hanging. Now he ain't got dreads no more, y'all. He done went bald, clearly, as we see here, right? But man, this is Lord have mercy. Let's rewind this back.
It's something that black people typically don't get exposed to in this country. But I do understand the Constitution, so I do come in uncivil behavior. Say, brother, where you go? The brother, you right here in the blue shirt, man. I love you. But I want to remind you guys that there's somewhere in the Bible that it was God who hardened the heart of Pharaoh. And you guys kind of represent Pharaoh in modern day times. And when I look at you guys and I see these good people come out and talk with their children, I don't see you guys show any compassion. Carrie Moon is probably about the only one who I really see any God-like spirit when I sit back and I just look from the outside. But I want to remind some of these white people, they got some black people coming to y'all neighborhood, and they got some diseases. They got syphilis, chlamydia, gonorrhea. They got some good people.
Charleston.
Whoa. Whoa. First of all, let me just say this real quick.
No, fuck all that.
The title is correct. Nigga, right. The title is correct. Charleston White before he was famous. Right. I like this version. This is the Charleston White that he talks about about himself before he became famous. Right. This is the first time for me kind of seeing this, you know what I'm saying? And the spirit is just different. It's more humble, right? It's just more, you know what I'm saying, about our people. The moment that he started listing, Elder, I'm gonna rewind this back a little bit too. The moment that he in YG, the moment that he started listing certain problems and issues that, you know what I'm saying, that we're dealing with as a people, not only in our neighborhoods, but just amongst us, you know what I'm saying, as a community, notice that the officials sent, they counseled him on the spot. Let me just say
that's Fort Worth, Texas.
Wow.
Now, this place be removed. Tonight we will close tonight. Mr. White, I will.
Here we go. Let's watch this again. I don't know.
Mr. White, I will remind you that this is a civil body, and if your language is inappropriate, you will be removed from the chamber.
Well, I'm not a civil man. This country once sold my ancestors, so civility is something that black people typically don't get exposed to in this country. But
bars.
Right. He was right. Gotta say that. He's right. Yeah.
I do understand the Constitution, so I do come in uncivil behavior. Say, brother, where you go? The brother, you right here in the blue shirt, man, I love you. But I want to remind you guys that there's somewhere in the Bible that it was God who hardened the heart of Pharaoh. And you guys kind of represent Pharaoh in modern day times. And when I look at you guys and I see these good people come out and talk with their children, I don't see you guys show any compassion. Carrie Moon is probably about the only one who I really see any God-like spirit when I sit back and I just look from the outside. But I want to remind some of these white people, they got some black people coming to y'all neighborhood, and they got some diseases. They got syphilis, chlamydia, gonorrhea. They got some good people.
Charleston, you'll be removed. Tonight, we will close tonight. Mr. White, I will remind you.
And then they close it after that. That's crazy.
Well, you know, the gem that he dropped, he's talking to the city of Fort Worth. And he told them that they sitting in Pharaoh's seat. So that goes along with what I was saying earlier, that how the pecking order of the authority of the guys that you serve. It's the city, it's the county, it's the state, and it's the federal.
Facts.
You know, and it's the money guy. All in one.
Right.
You know,
all in one.
Yeah.
Let me Phineas just sent me a video. Let me download this real quick and I'm gonna play this.
No, it's a song.
It's a song? Okay.
Yes, now I'm gonna tell you guys right now. This is a song that my uncle wrote. It is my grandfather, Papa B, singing it. He used to be part of a great reggae group called Dub Nation in the late 90s and the early 2000s.
I heard of Dub Nation.
That's my grandfather used to be part of that group. But this is him singing the song. My uncle China McLeod, that does I do a music with. He's featured on basically on all my albums. He wrote the song and he produced it as well. And so this song is called Babylon Is Falling. Now this song came out in 2003 or 2002, I think it was, on CD. We're actually about to re-release it on digital here soon, so everybody can hear it on all streaming services. But you guys are going to hear it right now for the first time on Let the Truth Be Told podcast. And this is a dope song, and I want you to go ahead and play it all the way through, Zamron. You know what I'm saying? We could talk about it a little bit after the show before we end it out. And
I love it.
You guys enjoy. And while we listening to this song, man, I'm gonna finish up this bottle I've been sipping. E40 needs to sponsor me.
That's right. E40, 40
I sat
water.
here, drank the whole bottle, man. E40 needs to sponsor me. I be on that Earl Stevens. So y'all go ahead and toast up and listen to this song, man. It correlates with everything that we just talked about on this show.
So we got an exclusive, you know what I'm saying? Just for y'all, you know what I'm saying? On the spot, Babylon is Falling, you know what I'm saying? With Phineas YG and who else?
No, I'm not on the song. This is my grandfather.
It's your grandfather.
His name is Papa B.
Papa.
From the late group called Dub Nation. Reggae group. This is reggae music. My uncle Charlie McLeod produced it, wrote the song, and my grandfather was singing it. It's a dope egg. It's reggae. Y'all check it out.
So as we play this, let y'all know, you know what I'm saying? My brother Phineas, let it be known, right? It's copyright disclaimer under Title 17 USC Section 107. We're about to check this out, right? For criticism, comment, news reporting, teaching, and scholarship. Let's get right into this. This is Babylon is Falling.
Mute you guys' mics.
Now a player don't wanna die, but you see when Zion is calling me, I went to the
can't hear nothing.
All of us. So rejoice and hope and decisions you make the right.
I hear it. Hold on.
I can hear it.
You hear it? You hear it, Elder? I hear it.
I can hear it.
I can't hear it.
Y'all, put it in the chat, y'all, if y'all hear the song. Put it in the chat if y'all hear the song. Put a one in the chat if y'all hear the song. One in the chat if y'all can hear the music. I'm gonna play it. I'm gonna play it again. All praise to the Most High. Yep, they hear it, brother. They hear it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's time for you to start running this off the main computer. Start running it off that little small thing. Let's push play. Let's push play again. Here we go, y'all. Babylon is Falling.
With nothing but love and peace in the air, yeah, it's harder to understand than it's to live. But open your Bible and read you again to the land of Zion. We gon' ease on down the holy road, feeling pleased with Rasta and Papa B, lavishly living. When I was young, I read the book of Revelation. It spoke of tribulation, cross many nations, disease and famine will engulf the land. We follow false prophet man sinking in the sand.
Babylon is Falling by Papa B, right? Papa D? Papa B?
Yeah.
Papa B. Shout out
by
to Papa
B.
Man.
Yes, Papa B. That was Rasta. That's his actual name, his artist name, Rasta Delic. That was also on there with him. And that song is called Babylon is Falling. We are about to re-release it on the album called Foreseen. a whole bunch of music talking about this stuff, man. And I heard somebody in the comments said, "Why do they say Jah?"
Yeah, I was just getting ready.
The Jamaicans say Jah, and we really don't. Back then, and even still today, a lot of our people still don't understand the truth and what the real name is, but we understand who we're talking about.
Right.
So check this out. Check this out. Even in Psalm 64 and 68 and 4, right? It says, "Sing unto God, sing praises to his name, extol him that rideth upon the heavens by his name, Jah, and rejoice before him." And so the thing is that when you're dealing with different translations of language, you know what I'm saying, because you have many different scribes, right, to try to pass on, you know what I'm saying, information, which is why you have Jeremiah, what we brought out earlier, says that through the passing of, you know what I'm saying, this information, there's also been a lot of lies that's been twisted. So when you're dealing with, you know what I'm saying, like my brother Finney was saying, especially if you look into like documentaries of Rastafarian type people that are still living in like jungles and things of that nature that live differently than we do, they believe in the Most High and him alone, but they refer to his name as Jah, right? And when you're dealing with ancient Paleo Hebrew, right, the letter J literally goes into the pronunciation of Y, which is why we call him Yah. But I yield.
Yeah. Hey, too. I put a video. I know we're getting ready to close. I put a video in the chat. This video is a very good to conclude what we're talking about. It's about the struggle. It's about what we came through. It's this the man that made the video. I actually know him personally. I had him at a event that we did in Washington, D.C. back in 2023. And if you can play that, I love this. I love it. I love all this music. We got to get our people. We are musical people. But check this video out.
All right, so check this out. This is the Great Awakening. Elder just sent this right now. You know what I'm saying? So this is premiere.
Deuteronomy 28. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Most High thy power, to observe and do all his commandments, which I command thee this day, that the Most High God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth. But if thou wilt not hearken to the voice of the Most High, to observe and do all his commandments, then curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
All these lies and delusions, wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of the light. I am awakened, I am awakened.
Israelites seek out the ways of the heathen to make a covenant with Satan's government. Turn their face away from the Most High, evil desire. 2 Kings 17 said they passed their sons and daughters through the fire. They begin cutting divine spiritual ties, clinging to the heathen lies. Evil spirits bind, breaking souls, breaking spirits, ripping flesh, breaking minds. Running from the Most High wrath on the blood-stained path. 70 AD, Israelites fall. The Most High's chosen seed go into captivity. Hebrew Israelites watch nations rise. They watch nations fall. Four beasts, Babylon, Medo-Persia, Greece. We pray for the fall of the fourth beast. Under the iron foot of Rome, we long to go home. A hopeless nation lies dead in the valley of the dry bones. Simulation of Shemites to Hamite clones. Israelites wrong.
All these lies and delusions, wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened.
Israelites enslaved to build a wicked nation. No true identity, only tribulations. Fed scraps of swine. We eat the worst of the animal kind. Used, confused. They set us in high places to be abused. control the tribe, control the tribe. Our leaders take bribes to continue the lies. Four beasts behind the scene in the skies, watching with the all-seeing eye. The heathen take flight into a new world order. Hebrews sleepwalking into a wicked system that's gonna fall. Awake, awake, reject Babylon. Hear the trumpet of awakening throughout the day and night. Awake, the Most High's people, the Israelites. The earth has swallowed the blood of deception. The harvest ripe for collection. His people are walking, standing like a mighty army. The Most High has summoned, the Hebrews are coming. Awake, come out of captivity. Awake, you who sleep. Arise, receive the Most High's laws and commandments. We are the Israelites.
In my mind, all these lies and delusions. Wake me up, show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened, I am awakened.
She channeling her Adele, y'all. She's channeling her Adele.
I'll be a new light. I am awakened. I am awakened. All these lies and delusions. Wake me up. Show me a new dawn. Open your eyes, rise, children of light. I am awakened. I am awakened. Israelite's journey.
Dry bones, Elder. Dry bones.
Dry bones. Dry bones. This is a good brother. I met him a few times.
Yeah, I rock with that. I rock. Was there more? You want me to keep playing or?
No, that's it. That's it. That's
yeah,
it.
I rock with that. I remember that though. It's been a while since I seen that. I remember when that first came out. It's a real good song. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to the singer though. Y'all know me. I'm a singer, bro. So.
Right. Hey, we waiting on you to put out another hit, Zamra.
Yeah, I really enjoyed that right there, man. The video was just
it's in the process. It's in the process, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? I got some stuff I gotta work on. Of course, you know what I'm saying? I gotta have YG on the album. I got a few projects I want to work on. I might be putting out a you know what I'm saying, a tour only, you know what I'm saying, Tanakh only Truth album, R&B album. But I'm also putting out an R&B album too, you know what I'm saying? Don't get it twisted.
Hey y'all,
couples.
we all got projects. You know, I'm writing a book that's gonna be out too, and also my brother Zamron gonna help me out. I'm gonna have a teaching podcast where I'm gonna go through step by step from the beginning to the end, dealing with subject matter, precept upon precept, and it's gonna be called Malak's Corner. And I'm gonna have we're gonna set it up, and we're gonna do straight Torah and dealing with, and we're gonna go through some stuff. You know, we're gonna unravel the new book, but we're gonna deal with everything and set everything in its proper order according to the Most High, as the Almighty has showed me. If you can't understand the first chapter of the first book, odds is you got a whole lot of things messed up. So when we start this, we're going to start at chapter 1 and walk it all of Genesis and walk it all the way down. Guarantee you it's going to be a great awakening. Seriously. Just like we saw in that video, it's time for y'all to rise. As he said, Quam, which is in the Hebraic tongue, which means rise. It's for you to rise, get up, declare yourself, take off them chains by going in the system and putting your name, Yasharala, on you, family. And stop being the social construct and the characterization of what your oppressors put upon you. It's time for you to stand on your own 2 feet. You can't look for the prophets to deliver you, because guess what? Tag, you it today. The prophets is gone. It's on you today to be the walking, living testimony of the word of the Almighty and declare your truth, as we telling y'all on Let the Truth Be Told.
That's right.
All
That's
praise
right.
to the Most High, man. And I gotta say this to land back off Elder real quick, man. I said it on my platform on my Facebook. I should have put it up on my other platforms, but I just put it out on Facebook. If you are not following me, I had said a couple nights ago, I have completely left the Hebrew Israelite community. I'm done with it. It's over. Because I love my people, but man, like me and Elder keep telling y'all, man, y'all just not understanding. And I'm glad that you are writing that book, Elder, and you about to do this other podcast, man, with the brother, man, Zamron. And like you said, you about to really walk them down and go through everything with a fine-tooth comb, man, and that's the truth. If you don't understand the very first book, you got the entirety of this so-called what we call Bible wrong.
And you know what the thing is that he gonna put together the what you call that, the intro, the outro, right?
Yep.
But I'm gonna have y'all gonna come on there too. But we gonna really break down the precepts, and we gonna go through and deal with it, and don't leave no stone unturned.
So when Elder
100%.
be saying when Elder basically said, y'all, when y'all hear Elder say on the podcast, like, hey, we gonna wait for another episode. We're gonna get into that. This is what this platform is about to be for. So make sure you guys stay tuned, right? For Elder's new platform that's gonna be coming out. I'll make sure that, once everything is set in stone and established, that I hit you guys with the news, the links, the channel, so that you guys can subscribe, man. Right? Because we're not just gonna be doing work here at Let the Truth Be Told podcast, man. We gotta, we're covering all aspects, And also, too, I want to drop this, too, real quick. I know this is kind of a little bit off, the Richter scale. But I know y'all been hearing me talk about lately, especially all of last year, that I was interested in something I've been wanting to do for quite some time. The page is officially set up. There's no videos uploaded yet, right? But you guys, make sure you guys subscribe to Zam Sports, right?
hey, he gonna talk about the Chiefs, y'all.
No. But what I will be talking about, I'll be covering all NFL, all NBA, and all boxing. You know what I'm saying? These are the sports that I gravitate to, right? But not just covering, them. I'm gonna be diving deep, into analytics, breaking down, gameplay, game film, things of that nature to keep you guys updated. So for those who are believers, of the Most High, believers of Yasharala, you guys have a sports channel, where you can come, and get your sports as well. You understand? So make sure you guys subscribe to the Zam Sports channel and be on the lookout for videos to come out soon. All praise to the Most High and Him alone.
Hallelujah. All praise. All praise.
All praise to the Most High. So this is another episode of Let the Truth Be Told podcast. You understand? I'm Zamron the Servant, Phineas YG, and of course, the wise Elder Shemaiah in the building, and everybody else in the chat. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Right? Make sure you guys chime in next Sunday. 6 o'clock. We're gonna be right back with it with another episode of Let the Truth Be Told.
Wait. That's 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. 8 o'clock Central Standard Time, 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time.
Right.
God,
good clarification. There you go.
God, all praise to the Most High. So we love y'all, man. Until then, we'll see you guys next week. We praying for nothing but peace and blessings in your guys' household. Hey, man, GOZ until we free. I got to throw that in there.
Hey, real quick. Go get y'all name changed, my people.
Mm-hmm.
Go to the website, man. right here on. Join the Zampac. God damn. Join the Zampac.
Hold on, wait. No, this is what he's talking about. This is what he's talking about right here.
Yes, go to the website, man. Check it out. See what you can do to help build your nation, because it is your nation. We ain't dealing with no religious nothing, no camp nothing. This is about 100% nation building for our people. This website was created for you. We got our own flag. Look at that flag behind Elder. Not only do we have the flag of Yasharala, there is a flag for every single tribe.
That's right.
Man, hit the website, man. We got so much information on there, man. This is sponsored by the United Nations of Yasharala. I am your brother, Phineas YG, man. I'm truly the GOAT with this, man. We got my brother Zamron and my elder, man. Shemaiah, the wise one. Y'all see that right there? Come on, y'all. We trying to build, man. We truly trying to build, man. We truly trying. Hey, I'm gonna say it real quick before we get out of here, man. Me and the other my elder sister, man. We always say, man, elder Shemaiah up there, man. He really might be that lineage from David, man. He be super humble, but if y'all understood who this brother really is and the things and the works that he does behind the scene and how he truly loves and cares for our people.
Elder whipping out, you know what I'm saying? Israelite of the Month awards and Israelite championship rings.
You know what? No, this is our 400-year commemoration coin. That's on the website too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that. It matches his outfit, y'all. Y'all see that? He be doing that on purpose. I be peeping, bro. Oh man, love y'all, man. Love y'all. Hey, also look, keep in mind, y'all. Pretty soon, y'all willing, y'all gonna get the Let the Truth Be Told podcast episode. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna be an episode. Gonna be all three of us in the same room.
Yeah, absolutely. Live and in person.
That's gonna be something right there.
That's gonna be something.
Yeah. I'm waiting on that.
Yeah. But all praise to the Most High. Until then, y'all, we gonna catch y'all another time. We'll see you guys next week, Sunday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Make sure you guys tune in. Let the Truth Be Told podcast. Shalom, y'all.
Let the truth be told.